Yo, what's up guys? You're watching Victor Bullseye, and today I'm going to be counting down my top 10 favorite Ace Attorney characters. Before the video starts, I just wanted to let you guys know that I would not be including characters from the Dai-Gakuten Saibon series or Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. However, I will be including characters from Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth and Gyakuten Kenji 2. Without further ado, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy! So, at number 10, actually, before we start, someone please give this man a hug. My number 10 is Raymond Shields from Gyakuten Kenji 2. His carefree personality makes him an incredibly likable character in my opinion. And how can I talk about Raymond Shields without mentioning his musical theme? Joking Motive is one of my favorite songs ever and perfectly matches his personality. But that's enough talking about Shields. Let's move on to my number 9. So, at number 9...
Silence!
Simon Blackquill, everybody. I'm putting Simon Blackquill at number 9 on this list. The samurai-like prosecutor is a contradiction in his own right, as prior to the events of Dual Destinies, he was simultaneously a prosecutor and a death row convict. Blackquill also has traits from prosecutors from past games. He's British like Edgeworth, hurts others in court like Franziska von Karma, uses odd metaphors like Godot, and gives nicknames to others like Klavier Gavin. Oh, and how can I forget Spirit of Justice, where he literally stops Nahyuta Sahdmadhi's beads by slicing them with his sword. All these qualities put Simon Blackquill at number 9 on my list. So let's talk Rise from the Ashes. This character is a very good character from the case that some people love and some people hate. As for his name, if you listen real closely, you can hear the howling wind calling it out loud. So, Jake Marshall is a cowboy prosecutor whose brother Neil got killed in the SL9 incident, and he doesn't believe it was Shigaraki. He believes it was someone else. This is one of the things I like about him, his persistence in the SL9 incident to find Neil's true killer. And I also love his fun personality and how he gives his pet cactus a nickname, which I don't remember at the moment. Yay me. Alright, anyways. That's why I like Jake Marshall, and he is at my number 8. So, there are 2 sentences that I can use to describe this character. 1, there are some very controversial opinions about him. 2, he's a prosecutor from Spirit of Justice. Nahyuta Sahdmadhi, everyone. Nahyuta Sahdmadhi is a Koreanese prosecutor who believes that a trial ending with the correct person indicted will send the victim's soul to the Twilight Realm. His primary method of attack, because most prosecutors do that in this series, is throwing beads at the defense attorney. This has happened to Phoenix, Apollo, and Athena, although on one occasion, Blackquill ended up slicing them with his sword, as I mentioned earlier. I don't understand why so many people hate on him. He seems like a good prosecutor to me, and I especially like the part in Turnabout Revolution where he says a dragon never yields just like dirt did, which inspired Apollo to keep on pushing and eventually find Garon guilty. These reasons are why Nahyuta Sahdmadhi makes this list at number 7. This guy's taken down a dictator and needs no introduction, but I'm gonna give one anyway. It's Apollo Hornhead Justice, everyone. So, let's talk about why I like Apollo. Well, for one, he overthrew Garon Sigataru, which is one of the things that I like about him. Along with his determination to do that, and make Clay Terran feel better after losing his mother. However, it's sad that he won't be featured in many other games due to the end of Spirit of Justice, which I won't spoil for those of you who haven't played it. Anyway, let's move on to my number 5. So, a disclaimer before I talk about my number 5. He's a controversial pick at this spot because many people think he deserves to be higher. My number 5 is Diego Godot Armando. Now, let me quickly throw down some comments before I get flamed in the comments for not putting this coffee-loving prosecutor higher on my list. He's a very calm and collected character, and I love his personality, and he also provides one of my favorite quotes in "The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over." Another part that I like about him is his 2 themes. The fragrance of dark coffee is perfect for listening to just some pure jazz music. Like, I can consider this an entire song rather than just a theme from an Ace Attorney game. And a bitter taste of truth is my favorite reminiscence theme of all. See, I'm not putting Godot higher because I just don't have as much of a personal connection with it. The first game I played was Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, and Godot isn't my favorite prosecutor by quite a bit of big margin. So that's why I'm sad to put Godot at number 5 on my list. So this character has been with Phoenix Wright since nearly the beginning of his journey as a lawyer, and has gotten into her fair share of trouble a fair bit of times. It's everyone's favorite burger-loving spirit medium, Maya Fey. So, let's first talk about Maya when she was 17, then we'll move on to when she's older in Spirit of Justice. 17-year-old Maya is a quirky and fun-loving spirit medium in training who adores burgers, and who met Phoenix through the untimely death of her sister as well as Phoenix's mentor, Mia Fey. Through this, Maya and Phoenix become very close friends as Maya gets arrested for murder, and Phoenix manages to successfully defend her as well as convict Wright of the murder as well as Blackquill. She then becomes very close friends with Phoenix, as I mentioned, and helps him out in most of his later cases. However, in Apollo Justice, she suddenly decides to go back to Kurine Village during the case where Phoenix lost his badge. Now we're getting to the part where she's 28. In Spirit of Justice, she makes a reappearance as she has now completed her training in Kurine Village and eventually the country Kurine, and she is now ready to succeed as the master of Kurine channeling technique. She then meets Phoenix, gets kidnapped again, come on Maya, and gets successfully rescued and manages to help Apollo win the case and convict Gara and Sigitar Kurine, as I mentioned earlier. All of these reasons are why I'm putting Maya Fey at number 4 on my list. So, my number 3 is everyone's favorite chief prosecutor. I, of course, am talking about Blaise de Best. Psych, it's Edgeworth. I did not fool anyone with that, did I? Edgeworth is most likely the most well-known character aside from Phoenix Wright himself in the Ace Attorney series. This is because he's been present in the first game, the second game, the third game, and Dual Destinies, as well as Spirit of Justice. So every single game, except for Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney, the Daikakutin, and the Daikakutin Saibot series. He even made a cameo in one of Professor Layton's special episodes, and has 2 spin-off games named after him, namely Gyakuten Kenji and Gyakuten Kenji 2. Gyakuten Kenji being dubbed into Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth. But enough talking about the games he's in, let me talk about why I and other people like him. He's a very cool-headed prosecutor, probably being able to rival how cool Christoph Gavin is before his secrets get found out. And he's also British, which I think adds a bit more charm to it. But what really stands out about Edgeworth is his character development. In Turnabout Sisters and most of Turnabout Samurai, he was a very, very ruthless, cunning, and devious prosecutor. But towards the end of Turnabout Samurai and then on, he became much more accepting the fact that getting a guilty verdict shouldn't be his goal. Even going as far as to write a seemingly fake suicide note at one point in Justice for All. These reasons are why I, along many others, like Miles Edgeworth so much. So my number 2 has often been overtaken by Godot in the race for number 1. But since Godot is number 5 on my list, you're wondering who this guy is. Phoenix Wright is my number 2, everyone. Phoenix Wright is a staple in the series and is probably what most people think of when they hear the name Ace Attorney. And this is because they probably don't know that Apollo Justice, Athena Sykes, and Ryunosuke Naruhodo exist. They just know of Phoenix Wright and Phoenix Wright only because they think he's the only lawyer. They don't know about the others. This is because Phoenix Wright has often overshadowed the others, and that's my major complaint about it. If not, he could very easily have been number 1. But he's a great character overall, and his personality, courage, and skill in the court really made me appreciate him more. This is why Phoenix Wright is only at number 2 on my list. So who would you think my number 1 is? Athena Sykes, maybe? Franziska von Karma? So many options. But my number 1 is someone that most people wouldn't consider. In my eyes, a sleeper pick. Here he is. Yeah, that's right. My number 1 is Klavier Gavin from Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Now, before I get into why I like him so much over all the others, I just want to say that this was an extremely close race from Godot onward. Honestly, any of these characters could have taken the number 1 spot, but I feel like this German prosecutor just edged out the others by a little bit. Anyway, back to why I like him. Klavier Gavin is a very nice prosecutor, and I mean his tone and demeanor rather than... Anyways, Klavier Gavin is a very nice prosecutor, which is a nice contrast to me from the other games, where most prosecutors try to physically harm you in some way, or just Edgeworth, who, at least in the original game where he was featured in, is kind of anger-inducing, let's say. So, anyway, I like that change of pace a lot, and I also like his theme. Like, not his theme song, that's still great, but, like, his character and what he's based on. Like, the whole rock star motif is something I really enjoyed throughout Apollo Justice, and Klavier is just, in my opinion, a very good, well-designed character overall, and definitely deserves this spot as my number 1. Alright, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe for more videos similar to this in the future. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bullseye out.